What is going on, guys? The True Legend here. Today I will be showing you guys how to make the Cell Saga diorama. Here's the diorama. This is filmed before the tutorial itself. I just want to show you guys a little before. But yeah, it's going to be the same concept as the Sane Saga. We're going to be going for more of a realism look compared to the other one. Alright, you guys, so basically the same tools that we're going to use are the same ones as last time. This tutorial is going to be a little bit more simple than the Sane Saga just because of the terrain itself. But starting off with the X-Acto knives and the blades, you're going to need paintbrushes, a ruler or a measurement tool. We are going to use static grass again, and of course you're going to need XPS foam. You can buy this at Home Depot or Lowe's. You can also get a different version, which is styrofoam that they sell at Hobby Lobby, but I don't recommend that one just because it makes much more of a mess than the XPS foam itself. And then for paint, the one I'm using here is burnt umber, and then for the arena it's going to be this gray. You could find these at Walmart, along with the Elmer's clear transparent glue you could find at Walmart, and just some type of sealer to seal everything at the end. Alright, so first things first, you're going to want to get your XPS foam, measure it to your liking or to the dimensions that you're going to do the diorama. For example, it's going to be 11 by 12. It's going to be for those new IKEA display cases. I'll put a picture right here on the screen. Alright, so for this diorama, we're going to be going with a display riser type of diorama. So we're going to have having the two boulders in the back while having like the main cell arena in the front. I'll put a few pictures here on the screen so you guys can see. Alright, so basically here what I'm doing is just cutting out some foam to lay out like how I want the diorama to be. So this is just like the layout and like how the foundation of the landscape is going to be. First we're going to be doing a few tweaks to it as we carve out the rocks. Alright, so here we have the layout, guys. Basically what I went with was like a riser display, just so we could have more figures elevated in the back, and like in the front there's more space for like dynamic poses and stuff like that. I will be adding an arena right here, but I gotta measure it and make it symmetrical, but I'll do that towards like the end of the carving process. And like I said in the last video, I like to use a weight just to make sure it gets glued on the right way. Alright, so now I have the layout all good. We're going to be gluing these pieces together just so when we carve everything, it could be symmetrical and like the lines line up and stuff. Once you have everything glued, now we're going to begin the carving process. Basically what we're going to do is basically the same thing as last video. We're going to be carving like the rock designs. Either you can draw them or freehand them. As I said in the last video, I like to freehand them just because that's more what I'm used to. Alright, so here we have the first rock done. Nothing too crazy, it's just like the boulders I usually do. But as you can see in that time lapse, it takes around like 30 minutes for me to do. Alright, now we're going to be moving on to the second one. This is the before and after. Alright, so here we have the second rock all finished. Now we're going to be moving on to the base. And now that we have the second floor done and the two risers, we'll be moving on to the base. Like the others, I will be covering the base and adding a logo. Alright, just like a little cut here from the video. I also did want to say that I listed some Cybermen on the website itself. They come in a 3-pack. They're resin printed and hand painted myself. Then I also have this Sane mountain that's available on the shop as well. I'm trying to go for like a riser series, so this is like the first one of the series, the Sane riser. I'll be adding pictures here on the screen so you guys can see the post. And then I will say this a little bit later on the video as well, but I'm also printing 3D printed adapters for you guys, and those will be listed as well on the website. There's going to be 2 versions. Make sure you check out which one you'd like to purchase. It's going to be one for the Tamashi stands and then one for Mayfix stands. So please make sure you know which ones you're buying. Alright, so now that I got the whole thing carved out, I'll be magnetizing these so these be removable, and also I'll be gluing this down to the base, and I'll be starting the cell arena. Actually, before I glue everything down, I'm going to be adding texture to it just to give it like a better look, and also it's easier to texture when the pieces aren't glued together. Alright, now that we have that all done, this part is glued, these are magnetized. Now we're going to begin adding the adapters and just clearing the imperfections. Also did want to state that I did design my own adapters, and these will be available on my website. I'll put the link for these in the description of the video. But yeah, I'll have like 2 different listings, one for SH Figuard stands, and then another one for Mayfix stands. So these will be available in the link in the description of the video. Alright, so now I have everything basically done for this one. We have the boulders magnetized. We textured it with the rock, or you could use a tinfoil ball. We have the adapters installed. Now we're going to be moving on to the cell arena. So this one's going to be more like of a corner of the arena, since I don't want to take up like the whole space like of the front and stuff. But yeah, we'll be making the corner, and then we'll be adding the pillar. Alright, now that we got this part of the arena done, you could either have it like that, with that side being cut off. You can turn it this way and this side being cut off. But I think I'm gonna go with it like this, so it looks a little bit better. And here is the cell printer that I'll be using. This is 3D printed also. This one is printed with resin. Alright, so I switched up the arena a little bit, made it longer, and inverted it so this side could be on this side instead of the other side. This is the base layout of how the diorama is going to look. Alright, so now that everything is done, we're going to begin priming it. This one's going to be more of a darker version compared to the Sane Saga. So to start, we're going to go with this burnt umber. You can find this paint at Walmart. It's like $2 per bottle. So yeah, we're going to go with this. And then we're going to be moving on to lighter colors. Alright, so for this, we're going to bust out the cardboard mat, just so we don't get the cutting board more dirty than it is already. So yeah, we'll begin painting. Alright, so now we have the first part done. I just did a base coat on them, which was that brown, that burnt umber, and then also painted this. I used this one. You can find that at Walmart also, or Hobby Lobby. So now we're going to be moving on to the brighter colors, just to give it like a contrast, especially to the terrain itself. Alright, so now we have these painted in a lighter color. Now we're going to keep going with white and yellow and mixing it and getting lighter each coat as we go painting on the diorama. And the further step, I really like using these thicker brushes just because it's easier to get the highlights of like the top surface. Alright, so after painting all that, this is something you should have. We're going for like a realistic look to it. But yeah, it should look something like this. As you can see, there's a color depth. The lighter colors, for example, like the white is like the one you see first, and the darker colors are in the background. I will be adding shading to this, but it is not necessary, especially if you don't have an airbrush. But yeah, even without an airbrush, you can clearly see like shadows in between each rock. And this is the top look. Yeah, I didn't do the sides because these will be just painted black. So we'll have all this painted black in the back, of course. Yeah, I also went ahead and painted the arena. Here we have it. You can see it's super clean. Then I also went ahead and painted the pillar itself. Alright, so now we have everything painted the sides black along with the back. Have everything basically almost done. Now we're going to be moving on to the grass itself. So I'm going to be painting some spots green. We're going to put this to the side, painting some spots green, and then adding the static grass itself. Alright, so now we have the little spots painted. Now we're going to be going on and adding the static grass. Alright, so and just like before, we're going to be using this Elmer's clear transparent glue. You can find this at Walmart or your local hobby store. And then we're going to be using static grass like last video. And of course the applicator if you have it, and if you don't, you just sprinkle it with your hand and it will look just as good. Alright, and once you have all that done, you have the grass applied and stuff, what I like to do is grab some isopropyl alcohol or some IPA and spray over the glue or like the grass area and let it dry. Make sure you don't touch it when it's wet or else you're gonna get paint all over your fingers. And then I also like to add a spray of this Mod Podge. It's just like a varnish, a sealer that just it's basically just glue and water. And now you just let it dry, and then we're gonna wait and take some videos and pictures, and then you should be all done. Alright, so here we have the diorama. Here's how it's looking, the finished product. This is what you have. I did add shading to the arena itself and to the diorama, but nothing too crazy. So here's the diorama. I added some figures on it. You don't want to go too crazy just because it is a smaller diorama compared to the other large ones. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I really like how it turned out, especially for a smaller dial. As you can see, we got the riser concept, so like you could add figures in the back and they could still be shown. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and also it will be available on the shop along with the smoke effects that I made. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and also what other dioramas you guys want to see in the future. And if you guys have any questions, don't feel afraid to ask or message me. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy and have a great day.